Hi, Mashers. Welcome back to another episode of the Weekly Mash. You know we love spotlighting incredible indie authors who bring something bold and unforgettable, because you guys know me. Come to the page, and today's guest does literally exactly that. We're diving headfirst into the gritty, dark, humorous, and wild world of Becoming Indigo. Guys, the cover alone sells ya, I'm telling you. Please welcome the amazing Meridith Gray, the author of the Damaged Goods series. Meridith, we are so excited you're here. We're going to talk a little bit about Becoming Indigo and Keeping Indigo, because since we first introduced ourselves to Meridith, she has released a book 2, and I'm here for it. Meridith, thank you so much for being here. Can you please introduce yourself and your work and all things fun and amazing, Meridith?
Well, my name is Meridith Gray, and thank you for having me here.
Of
I'm
course.
super excited to be on the podcast. I am a stay-at-home mom to 4 kids and a military spouse. So we're originally from Northern Virginia and the East Coast. When I started writing, we were living in Minot, North Dakota, and since publishing Becoming Indigo, we moved to Washington State.
How did I not know this?
Yeah,
I
we've been
know
all.
we're in Washington State.
We are near Spokane.
Girlfriend?
I'm not going to go into details right now, but we could talk about that later. We're not pinpointing locations, but yes.
Are you fangirling right now?
Yeah, Ashley's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, very cool.
Yay. Sorry.
But yeah, I just love books. I'm a huge reader. I always have been. And I just turned that love of reading into writing my own series.
You guys
Amazing.
really need to read this. I'm just telling you.
Ash literally picked it up and she texted me and she's like, I'm not even 2 pages in and I already love this.
It starts off strong.
Yeah.
No, I was dying.
Yeah.
Reading her like lines, and she's like dying. Like
Yeah.
the Sue line. Oh my gosh, it's so far is my favorite.
She was like,
Which
hold
one?
on. I just stopped this. I need to read this to you.
When she's talking about consensual activities and how, I forgot his name, but the creepy Joe or something was in the alley having his way with the Creepy Steve having his way with the shoe in the alley, and she offered a tissue to clean herself up.
It's good manners.
It's like, sold. I'm done. I am here. I literally sent Miranda a picture of just that line. And I'm like, this is why I love this book. And she's like, oh my God. I'm like, Brian, I gotta read this line to you. I was dying.
It sounds amazing out of context. I can just imagine how great it is in context. So yeah, I definitely will be picking it up, hopefully sooner rather than later,
good.
for sure.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Well, thank you for introducing yourself. We are so excited to have you here again. Can you give us an elevator pitch on who you are both on and off the stage? Like, what are some things that you enjoy doing outside of writing? Is there other things that you like to do, like activities and things like that?
So, well, reading and napping are my 2 favorite things to do.
Yeah.
I also like to garden. I'm not very good at it, but we're trying to be more self-sufficient. So I've been learning how to garden, and since we moved, we have a much bigger backyard. So we're planning out in the spring where we want to put everything. I like to cook and bake from scratch, kind of like a goth hobbit. Like that's kind of what my personal aesthetic. That's what I go for. Yeah.
That's
I like
awesome.
I'm a homebody. I like to stay home. I like to do cozy things, but I also really love Halloween and spooky stuff. So
We were
it's
meant
me in
to
a
be.
It's
telling
the
you.
season.
We were meant to be.
Yep. So it's just
Can we be besties
Yeah,
now?
yes.
Because you're not going anywhere away from us, just so you know.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Figuratively and literally.
for at least the next 4 years, we're definitely going to be here. And I'm already working on book 3. So I should have a new book out hopefully within the next year.
Nice.
So my question of the hour is, how many cups of caffeine does it take to write a character like Indigo?
So you have to have a lot of caffeine and then a mild dissociative episode. That's kind of how so when I thought of the first basically chapter and a half of the book, I was driving to work and listening to music, and I just kind of had like just an idea in my head it was like a daydream kind of when I was driving. I know it's probably really, really bad, but
No,
it happens all
more authors lately that we've been talking to, like, they get their ideas from when they're driving.
Yeah, driving for when I'm trying to fall asleep. That's the best
Yeah.
2 times.
Yeah.
But I basically the song just kind of made me think of the scene. And when I got to work, I did all my work stuff and I had some quiet time and I just quickly wrote down basically a rough draft of the first chapter and a half. And I told my husband and my dad about it and they read it and they were like, are you going to, like, is this a short story or are you going to write more? And I just kind of kept adding things on and it turned into like half a book. And I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to keep writing it and doubt anyone will ever read it. But my dad and my husband and then my best friend read it and they were like, no, like this could be a real book. Like you could do this.
Yeah.
So I just kept going and then it just evolved into what it is now.
That's incredible. I love the support too that you have with them pushing you to put it out into the world because they thought it was something that people would enjoy. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really, really lucky, especially since my husband and my dad don't read. They don't read romance books and they don't read that's kind of like dark humor, contemporary fiction.
Mhm.
They're both more fantasy or sci-fi based. So when I was
Oh, for
asking
sure.
them to read this book, I didn't think they'd really enjoy it, but I was like, just tell me structurally if you think
Yeah.
it's good. And they actually enjoyed the book. So
I mean,
I
how
was like,
could you
well,
not?
maybe, yeah, I was like, well, if they like it, maybe other people might too.
Maybe messed up
Yeah, and
actually will like it.
well, and
I'm
there's
so
that bonus because they're getting you're appealing to readers that aren't in that genre because you already know that people that are around you are enjoying it that normally don't read that book. So that's amazing that you could bring people from all over instead of just limiting yourself to that one genre. That's
yeah,
that's cool.
it doesn't really. So the first book, I kind of have it labeled as a slow burn romance. It's a very slow burn until the end of the first book. There is a little bit of spice towards the end, but it picks up in the second book. And I felt like in order for Indy's journey to be organic, because she's been through so much, I could not just throw her in bed with someone. It would
Very
not
true.
make sense for her story. I've had some comments from readers that it's too slow of a burn, and I totally get that. If you're looking for more spice
Mhm.
in a book, because I love
Oh, yeah.
spicy books,
Yeah.
but it had to make it make sense.
Mhm.
So it definitely the romance factor does kick up a lot more in the second book because we've established the world and everything her character's been through.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing when I was reading it. I was like, "Oh boy, I hope this happens." But at the same time, I feel like she's learning who she is now. Now that she's
Mhm.
healing and like she's gotten away from everything and trying to say too much without saying too much. Trying not to
Right.
say too much. But like, I agree. I think it is a slow burn, and I think it is a very slow burn. But I think in this case, it's necessary because when you read the stuff that she went through, like it's not natural for somebody to go through that and be like, okay, well, I'm magically healed today and let's go have some spice. You know,
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful.
Trying to highlight that the mental health aspect of it. She's DIYing her own mental health. She's
Mhm.
never had access to services, so she's learning on her own how to cope with things, and she's trying to do it. She's trying to read books or like, look online and find coping mechanisms and ways to deal with things, because not everybody does have access to mental health care. And I wanted her character to figure it out on her own time and build those relationships because it's all about, learning how to have all kinds of relationships. And I'll have to tell you something later. I don't want to put a spoiler on here, but
I love that.
it's not just about falling in love with some guy.
Mhm.
She's learning how to have friends. She's learning
Mhm.
how to love someone like a friend or as a brother. So it's not just the romantic element of it.
Mhm.
It's learning how to be in a family, learning how to have friends.
Yeah.
And that I felt like that was something I wanted to write about.
I think that's my favorite part is not only do you have like the MMC, but you also have the relationships that she's building with everybody else around her, like the
Mhm.
best friend, like Ashley, be quiet right here. But you know what I mean?
The other people that are
Yeah.
around her on a daily basis.
And you get to see that, and it's not just
We're best friends.
a memory that she had. Oh, last week we went out and ate lunch. Like you get to experience it with her.
Mhm.
It's so cool.
Yeah, there's no insta love, insta friendship, except for maybe with Sheila. She instantly fell in love with Sheila.
She had to fall in love with Sheila.
Who wouldn't though?
I would have. I did.
Yeah,
I did.
yeah. So I have a fan named Stuart. He is not as cool as Sheila, but I love him just as much. So Sheila's loosely based on Stuart.
Sheila's the van.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Sheila is her van that she kind of rescues. They rescue each other, and she kind of just forms a bond with like trauma bond.
Yeah. She's a
Yeah.
lady.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she is a lady.
I
love
like it.
I love that I can sit here and say this stuff and Miranda has no.
She's
I
like,
know.
that
It's
sounds nice.
okay though. It makes it more suspenseful for me.
And
I
$5
enjoy
says
I
that she's
enjoy the
reading it.
background.
She's reading
Yeah.
it before tonight. I bet you. That's what always happens.
It's a great possibility. I did just finish a book, so I don't have one queued up right now. Just saying.
If the mood strikes, I'm a mood reader, so I get it. But if the mood strikes, I think you'll have fun with it.
Miranda is not a mood reader. Miranda's like, I'm a book reader.
Yeah, that's
I'm a mood reader.
true. And it's true. I'll read anything. So this book, as it sounds, takes readers on a wild ride. We have escaping the Irish mob, a run-in with a serial killer, a desert kidnapping, basically every nightmare wrapped into dark humor. What sparked this chaotic, brilliant concept?
So when I started writing Becoming Indigo, I was in my mafia romance era, and I'd also read some MC romances before that, and I liked the freedom that these genres give you to just do whatever you want. You don't have to worry about breaking the law. You don't have to worry about like societal norms. You can kind of put your own unique color on it, and I really enjoyed that. So I wanted the freedom to be able to do crazy things because, if I was writing something a little more like traditionally contemporary, I would be limited by, people like, wow, you can't act like that in public. You will definitely get arrested. But in my world, you can. And it just makes it more fun for me. I didn't start writing this book with the intent to publish it. I was writing it purely for fun for me. And you can kind of tell that I wasn't worried about certain logistical details. So I enjoy the freedom that it gives me. And I've always loved morally gray characters or characters that make you consider, what would I do in this situation? Or would I have gone the same way? Would I make the same choices? Or, like, am I capable of dealing with something in this way? So I like the freedom that it gives me.
I'm so glad you had the freedom.
Yeah, me too. It's fun. It's fun being unhinged. Like writing a crazy character is so much fun.
I seriously she's probably at least my top 3 favorite female main characters. Like not even
Gosh, that's crappy.
just because besides the trauma, she reminds me so much of me.
I have a lot of the same kind of like intrusive thoughts or just like off the cuff unhinged goblin moments in my head. And obviously I don't say those things or do those things because I know how to behave in public, but I do think them occasionally.
I don't know how to behave in public.
Yeah.
True.
It's true.
It's fun to get to write a character that would just react naturally and not worry about if it's acceptable to, punch someone in the junk.
I love it.
Yeah. Lady Vengeance is very fun to write.
So speaking of a little crazy, how did Indy's voice come to you? Was she loud from the start, or did she grow her chaos as you wrote her?
It was very loud from the start, and her character gave me kind of like Harley Quinn energy, but different because they're obviously different characters that have a different backstory. Yeah. Like Indigo wasn't educated. She wasn't a normal, well-adjusted person. And then this thing happened to her. She, from birth, was off the rails. Things were not conventional. And I just kind of embraced that. And I just decided to write what was fun for me to write, what I enjoyed, and the way I would think somebody in that headspace would react to certain situations. And her sense of naivety kind of balances out a lot of the dark topics that I broach. I like the humor and her innocence in a sense to balance things out because there are some dark topics and some enemies to lovers types things. So you need the humor and the whimsy to lighten it up.
Was her name Ruby, the other little girl? I don't remember her name.
Right.
Riley. That scene killed me.
Yeah, I made myself cry with it.
I was bawling like a little baby, and I'm like, this isn't even supposed to be happening right now.
Yeah, I made myself cry writing that one. But I'm a crier, so it doesn't take a lot to make me cry.
No, it made me cry.
But yeah, it made me cry.
I felt like you did such a good job with it, though.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I like that there wasn't the details and...
No. I tried not to get too graphic with things because, I don't want to depress everybody. Yeah. And, if you want to read that, that's fine. I've read some stuff that's been really heavy. But I just tried to balance it out. So
No,
it wasn't too.
I was like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, please tell me she doesn't do this. Please tell me she doesn't do this. And then it like kind of just like faded, and I'm like, that was done so well. Like it so good.
I kind of pictured in my head if I was watching a movie,
Mm-hmm.
you don't always have to see everything
Right.
to know that it happened or to understand the implications of it
Mhm.
happening. And so for a lot of the heavier or darker things that she remembers or that
Yeah.
she talks about, I didn't feel the need to go into a ton of detail because I feel like you get the gist without it being explicitly graphic.
And it doesn't make the reader feel uncomfortable. That's one thing that, like, especially with, like, let's say, like, the sexual trauma and stuff like that. Sometimes when you get too much into it, it kind of makes the reader, like, want to go, oh, I'm just going to, like, skim through these pages and skip.
Mhm.
You did such a good job of making it so it was just on that line where it's like, okay, is she gonna push the line? Is she gonna push the line? And then it's like, oh, okay, never mind. Like I can keep going.
Yeah, I don't, and that's why I did put the trigger warnings in the front because
Mhm.
I don't go into graphic detail, but I also
Yeah.
don't want to accidentally overwhelm or upset anybody that's reading the book.
No, I know you
Especially
were
since I've been
great.
sending these chapters to my dad. I was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, Dad, read this," and he was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So like, I don't want to traumatize my parents either.
Yeah. No,
Right.
it's so good. So good. Makes you feel the feels without feeling the ick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's important.
there's a scene towards the end of the first book where you get a little bit of spice. You get where the enemies are starting to consider becoming lovers. So there's a little bit of a scene there. So you'll have to let me know if that works too.
I will. I'm almost there. I probably would have finished it if my husband would have left me alone in the car.
Ugh. Who's the husband?
Dang it. We had football game. And I was like, you can drive. I'm going to read my book. And he's like, hey, did you notice the weather today? I'm like, dude, did you hear
Did
this
you notice
happen?
I'm reading?
Yeah. I'm like, can I just finish my book, please? I never let him drive. He never drives. So it's a big deal. So let me finish my book.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, we kind of talked about it a little bit that there's a lot of edge and there's trauma in Indigo's story and how you managed to weave in humor and found family moments. How did you balance the heavy with the hopeful?
Really, it's all in how Indy perceives things. She has had a lot of really heavy things happen, but she's also found a way to look at things to keep the things whimsical or light. She does not take herself too seriously. She is just really, it comes off sort of innocent, like especially if she perceives that someone's angry with her, she might not understand why. She can see that you're angry, but she has no idea why. So she tries to just come up with a reason of why you might be angry. So like there's an example from my second book where someone's mad at her. Somebody has passed away unexpectedly and she perceives that they're angry with her about it. And she's like, well, I didn't do it on purpose. Things just happened. But then she remembers that she was at a brunch place before it happened. And she's like, oh, are you mad that I didn't bring you any pancakes? Like, I'm so sorry that you're hangry. You know, she's like, I really apologize. And he's like, that's not the problem. The problem is not the pancakes. And she's like, so that's just an example. I like the way that she kind of just keeps things, I don't know how to describe it, whimsically macabre, I suppose.
I like
is a
that.
good to look at it.
Just
Right,
thinking
just
of all the
with them.
times like she was tied up and like the
Yeah,
comments
she's
she was
trying to
making.
make things fun for her captors. Yeah. Yeah. Like, this is so cute that you think this is torture, but
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah,
I don't
keep
want to
going.
impede you doing your job. Job satisfaction is incredibly important. Yeah.
I was rolling. It's seriously like the best of like three worlds all put into one. I was obsessed. So let's talk about tropes. You seriously
Okay.
made a match made in heaven. There's found family, enemies to lovers, grumpy sunshine, slow burn, mafia, MMC. When you first started writing, did you plan to hit all of those, or did they just kind of like sneak into the story themselves?
There was no planning involved. I just wrote it as I had ideas. I did not plan on certain things. Like when I wrote Reardon and Ivan's characters, they're my Bratva characters. I had absolutely no idea how I was going to proceed with it. I knew that I wanted Reardon to be connected in some way to Indy, but when I started, I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. I was like, maybe he's going to, like, maybe it'll be like a love triangle thing. I decided not to go that way because I personally do not enjoy that. I like a more of a white shoes scenario if there's multiple people. So I don't enjoy love triangle, but I finally settled on how I wanted them to be connected, and I'm pretty happy with.
Don't tell me. I'm almost there.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out, and it's afforded me the chance, if I want to later, I could actually have more books with just the Bratva characters. I could really extend things if I wanted to, or if people are interested in reading it. I don't feel like, I guess as an indie author, you can kind of fly by on the seat of your pants. You don't really have to have a commitment like outlined for the whole series.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that the tropes were on purpose, except for I knew the MC romance was going to be in there and the enemies to lovers was going to be in there, and the found family, because as a military spouse,
Yeah.
we do have a lot of found family in our own lives, because you get thrown together with people, you become really, really close, and then you kind of get taken away as people. So found family is something that I personally feel is one of the most important tropes in the book.
I agree.
One of my favorites. I love found family.
Me too.
Yeah.
Especially like if the family that you were born into isn't great, the chance of you building something of your own with people that you choose to bring into your circle, I think is really empowering.
I agree. Not saying, Mom, that we didn't grow up in a good family.
No.
I love my parents. I love my brothers and my siblings. So no shade on my family that I was born into, but I also love my found family.
100%.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Without spoiling too much, we know that there's a cliffhanger ending that is a bit of an emotional roller coaster. What can
Yes.
readers expect from the series as it's continuing?
Okay. So Keeping Indigo, which is the second book, starts immediately after the first book. So while there is a cliffhanger, you don't hang on the cliff for very long.
Hallelujah.
I draw a few details out maybe into the first couple of chapters, but you definitely find out like how everyone's doing as soon as you start the second book. So if you're kind of a binge reader and you don't enjoy a cliffhanger, then Keeping Indigo is now available. Keeping Indigo does not end on a cliffhanger.
Hallelujah.
Are plot points and plot elements that are not tied up yet.
It doesn't, spoilers don't really bother me.
I'm really bad about spoilers because sometimes I forget what's in what book and I just want to talk about all of it.
Yeah.
Miranda's
okay.
always
It's
like,
all right.
so we just read a book by another one of our authors who were on here, and she's like, Ashley, chapter 29. And I'm like, okay, so I got my phone ready, and I got my book, and I'm reading it, and I'm recording myself, and then you can just see my face go, and then I record myself just ugly crying for 100 pages. But
Aw.
like, spoilers don't really bother me. I think, to me, they're kind of more exciting because I get to prepare for it, and I'm like, well, if this happens here, then what happens here? You know,
Or it takes some of the anxiety out of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, she was prepared for the ugly crying. I was not. I was reading it and it hit me like a freight train, and I was just bawling my eyes out. Like she said, for 100 pages, it just
Sure.
doesn't stop. So I was like, I'm going to prepare you. I was not prepared.
That's how I felt when I read, was it the Phlox trilogy?
Oh, Exodus?
Yes. When
Yeah.
I read that part with Dominic,
Dominic.
I mean, full on ugly cried, went into a depressive episode. Like my husband was like, are we good? And I was like,
No.
he was like, okay, so not a real thing. It's not real, but nothing bad happened in real life. I was like, yeah, it's my book.
Yeah.
I don't think Miranda was really as upset as I was on that.
I was upset, but I did not cry for Dominic like I did in Shattered Love. There's no comparison.
I think I've read that one. I'll have to put that on my list. I
So
love a
good.
book that hurts.
It's by Ray Anderson. We had her on our podcast about a month ago,
So good.
and it's good. It's hard to read though. It's sad.
Very sad.
I love a book that hurts my feelings.
Chapter 29.
29. They're like 33.
Good to know.
Actually, to like the end of the book.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, these ones. Let's talk about your trigger warning list. I'm skipping some
Okay.
questions because we already answered them.
Right.
So we always appreciate a trigger warning list. To me, it's my menu. That's what I call it. How important is reader safety and content transparency to you? Transparency. Oh my gosh. To you when you're writing a dark romance.
So there's the me who writes it and the me who reads it. So the me who writes it feels like I need to put at least the major, what I would consider a trigger warning thing on there, because I don't know what the mental health of my readers is.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going to upset anybody, especially these are dark, heavier topics. So to me, I feel like I want to give enough of a warning without giving away plot points or spoilers. Now, as a reader, I generally don't have a lot of triggers when I'm reading at all. So it can have pretty much anything in there. And if I don't like the book, I won't read it. It won't be because of the trigger warnings that causes me to not read it. So I struggled a little bit more with the trigger warnings for book 2 because if I listed them out, I was worried I was going to give away some of the plot elements. But I decided in the end of the day, it was worth it just in case it upset a reader to put the warning on there. And, if it gives it away, it gives it away.
Yeah.
I don't put things in for shock value. I feel like I don't want my triggers to be plot points for shock just to get people to read the book.
Yeah.
So listing them out, even if it does spoil certain elements, I feel like it's worth it in the end.
No, my biggest pet peeve in like the dark romance thriller area is when readers don't read the trigger warnings and then they get mad at the authors for what they just read. And it's like, you literally turned the page on the trigger warning. You said, oh, I don't need that, and flipped it. And yet you still read the book. And you can stop. There's not somebody there telling you have to read your book because you started it. Like, you can stop at any point. So why are we blaming the author who's telling their story and you're reading their story? It doesn't make sense to me.
I think it's just a consideration. It's trying to be considerate.
Yeah.
You're trying to be considerate. And I always wonder if readers read the trigger warnings, the author's note, the playlist. Like, I put a playlist in the front of my books. I always wonder how many people actually look at those or I do. I absolutely love when books have playlists because I find some of the best new music that way.
Yeah.
My playlist, it goes with the flow of the book. It's not just songs that I listened to when I wrote it. There's songs that are supposed to be read, like, you hear it in your head like a movie soundtrack.
Yeah.
I always wonder if people actually read the trigger warnings or if they skip them.
Nope, I devour them.
Yeah, my list isn't even that long. It's just a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I always look and I'm like, oh, this sounds... It's like reading the back of the book to me. Reading the trigger warning. Except for Butcher and Blackbird. That one got me for a while.
I haven't read it yet. It's on my list.
I haven't either.
But
She's been so mad at me.
Is like crazy unhinged. And you're like, I'm not reading this. I remember seeing the book when I first started reading, because I first started reading like right when Butcher and Blackbird came out. And I'm like looking at the trigger warnings and I'm like, I am not reading this if this is in it. Like, this is crazy. Why would I want to read accidental cannibalism? Like, you know what I mean? And my husband's like,
check it out.
So finally I bought it and I was dead.
Away after a while.
I see questionable trigger warnings. I'm like, no. Well, yeah, okay. And then I pick it up.
We actually came on, it was one of our first actual like podcast episodes of just me and Miranda. I think I picked up Butcher and Blackbird and I read Miranda the trigger warnings list because it was freaking hilarious. And especially now I read the book, it's like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious.
It's part of the balance of hilarious and messed up.
Yeah.
And that's what I love. And that's what I try to put into my series is I wanted there to be a balance between just seriously messed up and funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Beautiful. Is it your turn, Miranda, or mine? No, it's your turn.
I don't know. It's my turn. I was going to go to our lightning round. So we love doing the lightning round. And it's just the first thing that comes to your mind, which with the way that this book sounds, I think this could be fun. So our first one is coffee order of choice, starting out easy.
For me or for the character?
You.
For you, but you could do the character if you want. That could be fun.
So if I'm going to like a coffee shop, my coffee order of choice is usually a vanilla latte with extra shots of espresso. I like my coffee to be just a little sweet. So normally I have them do like one fewer pumps of syrup than they usually do, and then add one extra shot of espresso than they usually do.
See, I'm the opposite. I like my coffee sweet. Yeah. Oh, that's my turn.
I feel like coffee.
Oh, I feel like if Indigo ordered coffee, it would definitely be something with lots of like whipped cream and sprinkles and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Like the unicorn drink from Starbucks.
Yeah, that would probably be her go-to.
Yeah. 100%.
She kind of has a sweet tooth, so any sugary things.
Sorry, reminiscing. Favorite MC trope to write versus read?
MC trope? For main character. Do you mean motorcycle club or main character? Motorcycle.
No,
okay. Let's see. I love when there's like a cinnamon roll kind of MC character where he looks like he's really scary, but he's actually really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I know that when I do write Ratchet's book, Ratchet's going to be my cinnamon.
I'm so excited. Sorry. I love it.
If Indigo had a theme song, what would it be?
So I'm going to have to just off the top of my head say the song that I was listening to when I came up with the entire idea, and that is Bad Memory by Kay Flay.
Okay.
One book boyfriend you'd risk the Irish mob for.
It is absolutely my husband. I love him so much. We were high school sweethearts, and we've been together we just celebrated our 18th wedding anniversary
Well, congratulations.
earlier this week. Thank you.
Late night writing snack of choice.
This is going to be kind of odd, but it's frozen mango chunk. I like them frozen because sometimes you want a cold snack.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you want a crunchy snack, and I like them because then they're frozen. You don't have to cut them up yourself.
That's smart.
Right. Yeah. I like it.
A quote from Becoming Indigo that still gives you chills.
I don't know. I'd have to like go through the book.
How about a scene without spoiling anything?
Probably when Priest gets Indy in the confessional. That scene has a lot of tension. But one of my favorite scenes with them too, piggybacking off of that scene, would be after, I don't know where you are in the book, but like after Priest's punishment for going against Duke's word.
Oh, yeah.
This with him and Indigo after that, there's also a lot of tension there, but I try to also make it funny. I really enjoyed that one because it kind of shows how the relationship is starting. That's like the tipping point for them. That's when the enemies start to become lovers. They start to acknowledge the tension between them. So I feel like that one also would be a good one.
I just finished the snickerdoodle part.
Oh, yeah. That was
Okay.
sweet. You got to balance the grumpy assholishness of Priest with his sensitive, sweet side that he doesn't show everybody.
That's literally where I went, oh.
Yeah. You're like, oh, fuck, I like that guy.
I know. I didn't like him until now.
Yeah.
But now I like him.
As a reader, I love those moments when
Me too.
the morally gray or the jerk MMC starts to become a little more relatable.
He's like,
Yeah.
screw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
All
I
right.
like him.
Fan casting. Well, author casting, not fan casting. If you could cast Indigo and her main love interest in a movie, who are you picking?
So for Indigo, I definitely could see Elle Fanning doing a good Indigo.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then for Priest, it's so much harder because I don't really have like a celebrity that exactly looks like him in my head that I can like refer to. No, I'd have to think about that.
I know. I do that a lot where when I'm reading a book, I try to think of like actors or people so that when I'm playing it in my head, because I play it like a movie, when I'm playing it in my head, like I can see it. And I don't have one for Priest.
And that's really hard because it's hard for me too. I know how he looks in my head, but I have a hard time assigning a real life person to be like, this is an equivalent.
Yeah.
It's not as hard as most of the other characters.
Yeah.
But Priest, like, for example, Duke to me is Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yes. I was thinking
Like
that
that's
too.
that's the like Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan kind of energy. That to me, I have a harder time with Priest.
Yeah. No, he's swoony, guys. He's swoony, but a jerk, but still, yeah.
And I can't even equate him to like a Sons of Anarchy character
No,
because
yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, if they have any MC knowledge, that's like a baseline. But I've never watched it, so I can't even.
Neither.
I know. Because I know was the main character's name
Jax.
Jax Teller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't even say if he would be Priest. I don't think so.
And I could kind of picture Opie as him, but I feel like I'd have to like remodel Opie a lot to make it work.
Because he's got, I guess, what's that guy's name from Vampire Diaries?
That's Miranda's cue.
Are you talking about Damon Salvatore?
No, what
No.
hair?
Well, they both like Paul Wesley and Damon. Paul Wesley and gosh, what's his name?
I don't know.
That plays Damon. My brain's not working.
That's the look. He's got the light blue eyes and dark hair. I guess that, but he doesn't have the same kind of build.
No,
so
it's weird.
But the eyes and the hair, that guy.
Ian Somerhalder, that's his name.
There you go.
I don't know why I couldn't remember that.
Good job. Yes.
Okay,
So his eyes.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say his eyes and hair, that would be Priest.
So
Definitely.
maybe
But
mix
the rest of it,
Opie with him.
I'm going to have to look up pictures of him and see. But that might be it.
I'm probably way wrong. Ask Miranda about my A.L. Jackson reference to her MC book.
I'm surprised you're reading something that has MC characters in it, and you're okay. So I don't know if you're familiar with A.L. Jackson and the Moonlit Ridge series, but
No.
it's an MC series, and I tried to get her to read the first one, and she pictured the main guy as like this old tattoo artist that our mom used to go to get tattooed.
Big, burly, fat, like only wears his cut, like beard down to his
No.
knees, gray hair. Like that's what I
I'm
pictured him
like,
as.
how? How did you get that from the
don't know.
description in the book? Like River is like dark haired, like I don't know. She like went off the rails.
To be fair, a lot of the time, even though I am reading the description of the character, my brain makes them look however my brain makes them look. Like sometimes they don't even remotely resemble how they're described. And like the author, it's not the author's fault. They did a great
No,
job
they
describing
did.
them. But my brain was just like, nope, we're going to do it this way. And so I get that.
Well, it totally ruined the book for her.
When you picture Opie and you're thinking of combining these two people, and you go, Ashley, you are a psycho, just remember that's how I pictured A.L. Jackson.
Right.
Now I want to I want to get off here. I'm gonna have to Google that and see like if it would work out.
He's beautiful.
You should use AI and put the two together and see if it does
So
what
when I
you would think it'll do.
first started trying to visualize and conceptualize the characters, I was on Canva and I was trying to use AI. And then there was this huge backlash about people posting character art made from AI. Once I started to understand a little more about it, I was like, okay, I can see why that's the problem. So I
Right.
stopped doing it. But then I was kind of stuck in the sense that it's hard for me to find someone that looks exactly like this to show people. So I had some character art commissioned, and it's not the artist produced the art, and she did a wonderful job. It just didn't exactly get the vibe right, so I don't really show that one that much. Like I have one of Indy that I think she did a really great job getting everything right. The one with Priest, I'm just not exactly. It's not right exactly, and it's not her fault. It's probably my description. So I'm still kind of working, trying to find someone else to do character art that might be able to
Pull that out of you.
It was definitely not her fault. It was mine.
Well, yeah, and it's just how people perceive people.
Right.
Once again, big
Art
fat
is very-
biker dude tattoo artist. It's same. Last question. What's one word to describe keeping indigo?
I would say one word to describe keeping indigo. Probably healing.
That's funny. That's the word that was just in my head, and I haven't even read it yet.
So while I have enemies to lovers in becoming indigo, in keeping indigo, it's more hurt comfort. And she is learning how to keep the parts of herself that she's found and let go of the parts that don't serve her anymore or that she's been holding on to and they're not healthy or they're not productive to keeping around. So she has a part in the book where she's like, I am healing. I am not healed, but I'm working on it. And I feel like a lot of people are works in progress. And some days you're great, some days you're not. And it's not a steady, straight line. There are dips and curves everywhere.
100%.
So probably healing. And it's really fun.
Yeah.
Like it's a fun ride.
I imagine so.
I think that was one reason why I hadn't started becoming indigo yet, is because I saw that keeping indigo was coming out, and I hate waiting for the next book to come out. So I think that's one reason where I was like, I don't want to start this yet. That, and I always forget a book after I read it. I don't know why. Like I'll remember certain things, but after today, or after I finish the book, give me like 3 days and it'll be like in one ear out the other kind of thing. But I'll know I love this book. But can I sit here and tell you every detail? Probably not. But can I tell you a song from my high school days? Yeah. But
Oh yeah.
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 So I think that was like two of the reasons why I hadn't picked it up until recently was number one, I wanted to be fresh in my head for when you came on. And number two, I knew that keeping indigo was coming out and I have to go like bam, bam.
Yeah, you're definitely a binger.
But I'm a binger too, and I hate having to wait. So as like a reader, I am completely on board.
Yeah.
As a writer,
You're like, it's
because you want people to read your book, even though the series isn't finished yet. And
Yeah.
you want, to have a reason to, I would keep writing it regardless, but it's just nice to know that somebody cares about it or
Oh,
someone's
Yeah.
interested in finding out what happens. I think the very first time someone was like, I have to know, like, this is bullshit.
Well-
You need to finish this book right now. The first time I heard feedback like that, it like startled me because I didn't anticipate anybody else really caring. I
Yeah.
figured my family would buy it out of obligation. And then like my husband was basically strong arming everybody he worked with to buy it or to read it. And they actually liked it. So it was really,
That's awesome.
I built up my self-esteem just a little bit.
Well, I more
Yeah.
than care about this book.
Thank you. I hope you like the ending, and I hope you can jump right into Keeping Indigo is free to read on Kindle Unlimited if you have Kindle
I'm
Unlimited.
going. I've already got a download.
Like I'm ready.
I can't.
All
not-
right.
I've only got this much left, and I'm already
Yeah.
dying for book 2.
Well, let me know what you think about the
I will.
ending.
I will.
We always post reviews, so it'll
Awesome. I
be
appreciate
through
that.
there. Yeah. Well, that was it for our questions. Can you tell everybody where they can find? You already said Keeping Indigo is on Kindle Unlimited. Where can people find Becoming Indigo and everything Meridith Gray?
So, Becoming Indigo and Keeping Indigo are both free to read on Kindle Unlimited, and you can buy them from Amazon. Becoming Indigo is also available on barnesandnoble.com, and Keeping Indigo will be available at barnesandnoble.com soon. They're not in the store, but you can order from the website. And then I also I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and then I have a website, which is just meredithgray.com/author.
Awesome.
You guys need to
All
go get
right.
it. And I'm not just saying that because I have it in my hand.
Everything will be linked below, so you can go find it all and let us know what you think. I'm probably going to be downloading it after this on my Kindle.
Told you. Told you.
I know.
And I really, really appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to be here and talk with you about my books a little.
We love
Of
having you.
course. It's always so fun, and we love having everyone on here and getting to know you and the book. It makes it that much more special when we read it to know the mind behind the story. So thank you for coming on the show with us.
No, I appreciate it. And since we are geographically nearby, maybe if there are bookish events in the area, we will see each other there.
Yeah, I was actually going to mention that after we stop recording here in just a second. But yeah, for everyone else that it's not geographically in our area,
That's a you problem.
that is a you problem. Make sure that you go and check out Meridith everywhere linked below. Don't forget that book 2 is now available too, so you can binge both of them. And we will see you next time on the next Weekly MASH episode.